Welcome in to the Jacksonville Jaguars franchise, where we have just 2 weeks left in the regular season against divisional foes, and if we take them both down, we head to the playoffs. And first up are the Tennessee Titans, 6-9. Same as ourselves and the Indianapolis Colts. It's a 3-way race in the final 2 weeks, but we have control of our destiny as we play both the Titans and the Colts. And it has not been that long since our previous Titans matchup where we destroyed them, our biggest game under Coach Boston, 41-6. Trevor Lawrence showed that he could be an actual quarterback in that game with a 142.9 QBR, 278 yards passing, and 4 touchdowns. We held Will Levis to 41% on 12 attempts. He did get injured just before halftime. Mason Rudolph came in, and on 19 attempts, he only completed 31%. Rushing the ball, it was a big game for Travis Etienne Jr. About 100 yards, and he is close to surpassing 1,000 on the season. Lawrence also scrambled around a good bit. If they go for Tony Pollard, he was probably their best offensive threat. On the receiving side, Brian Thomas Jr. and Brenton Strange both had breakout performances. 2 touchdowns for Thomas, 1 for Strange. Davis got in the end zone, and Okonkwo was really the only one doing much of anything in the Titans' receiving game. Defensively, we were flying around making tackles, and that included making plays in the backfield. Trayvon Walker, 2 TFLs and a sack. The only player to show up for the Tennessee defense was Arden Key with 3 TFLs and that sack. But what Tennessee does best is average at best, and what they do worst is quite literally the worst. But on our side, we do have some bad news in terms of injuries outside of Mitch Morse, who we already know is out until we possibly reach the offseason. We're missing starters on both sides. Andre Cisco, the free safety, with a hip pointer, and Brian Thomas Jr. with an ACL sprain. So as Coach Boston looks to avoid the trap game that's not exactly the trap game, we are set to kick this one off as Cook gets us going here, and as it will be returned about the 4-yard line. Jackson trying to find a way to go, but he gets picked up, slammed down by Gibson, and it will be Will Levis and the Tennessee offense heading on out. Now, no games ever play the same, and I am very interested to see what Will Levis can do if he could stay healthy and give us that full performance. Pass to the outside finds Hopkins, play 1 with about a gain of 5. And this secondary will be shaken up a little bit today with the injury to Cisco moving around those safeties. 2nd and 5, Levis, he checks down to the flat, and Okonkwo chopped out with a gain of 3. It's Jones with the tackle. Of all the young secondary players we have out there, he's been making the most noise. 3rd and 2, they go back to Okonkwo. He's got the first down, about a gain of 5. We'll see who Levis ends up favoring with his targets as Pollard takes the carry down the middle, avoiding the double A gap blitz. He picks up another 5. So far, kind of sensing a theme here with the Titans offense, picking up 5 on most of their plays, though dropped by Okonkwo. That would have been a gain of at least 7. But instead, it will be 3rd and 5. Will Levis coming out here with a spread empty look, trips to the left-hand side, and they find their target. It is Spears. A great beater there for the cover 2 zone. That's where no one was sitting. Will Levis with a fresh set of downs, throws and caught on the outside. Pollard was an interesting choice there from the cover man to not try to jump that ball. 2nd and 3. RPO is out to Okonkwo. He gets the catch, minimal gain. It brings up yet another 3rd down. Titans have done well on this drive to convert. They will look to throw the ball and ripped away even as Aluakin takes it away from Hopkins. Great effort there from the superstar linebacker here of Jacksonville. They will force the punt. Folk sends this one right down the middle. Tennessee still takes the lead. They've already picked up about half the amount of points they had in the entire game last time. But the offense gets to head out here. starting at the 38 following a good return. It's Lawrence who hands this one off, read option, and ETN goes backwards. The front here for the Titans can be really good because mostly you got a guy over on that left-hand side in Simmons. We run right at him, and ETN will end up picking up about 4. Making it 3rd and 7. A spread look here, Lawrence. Hard count, no one jumps. Then a little shimmy over on the edge right-hand side. Doesn't jump early. They go with the halfback screen. ETN bounces it, shakes one tackle of Hooker, and gets them up to the 45. Over the last handful of games, Lawrence really has struggled with the passing, so it's good to see he's getting some easy ones out the gate. Ingram can't squeeze it. He did take several big hits, though, in the process. Probably should have went to the far outside. Would have been a better target. 2nd and 10. Ace formation. ETN can't break away from that tackle. Limits this one to just a gain of 1 and brings up a 3rd and long for the Jaguars. They come out with trips to the left-hand side. Hard count from Lawrence. Nobody jumps. Always takes his time pre-hard count or post-hard count. Flipping this one too far to the outside for Ingram. But surprisingly, they will keep the offense out here. 4th and 9. They're at the 44. And someone jumps, but they don't blow the whistle. Hard count again. That's the 2nd time. Still waiting. 3rd hard count. Someone jumps. Arden Key definitely crossed the line, but it's because of movement, so it will be a punt. Looks like Coach Boston didn't trust the initial length of that field goal. Tried to get the free 5. Didn't pan out. Pollard, he breaks to the outside here. Johnson in pursuit. Bad angle. Edmonds does rip him down, which is good. He was the last line of defense. We saw the stats as they came onto the field here to start this drive. Pollard 2nd in the league in running back receiving yards. Nearly took it that time via the handoff. The defense will win the next play as that pass ends up hitting the turf. 2nd and 10. Bunch to the right-hand side and play action rolling. Going back to that side, Pollard with maybe a gain of 2. And for Levis, you kind of got to worry a bit about whiplash, having to turn all the way back around to make that throw. 3rd and 8. Walker shucks off the attempt, but Pollard downfield. Pollard with the touchdown. He beat Ringo man v man. And the Titans grab an early 10-0 lead. The offense has got to come out here and perform, even though it's been that group that has struggled. The defense, up to this point, has been great. Not exactly the case as we get going today. Lawrence dropping back, and he's a little bit under pressure. Tosses it downfield. It's picked off, intended for Christian Kirk. Though there is a flag down in the backfield. We'll see if this pick stands. If it doesn't, it's going to be DPI, but it's holding. The pick will stand. Out the gate, it is all Tennessee as they take over at the 50-yard line. Will Levis looking to throw the ball, or actually dancing around in the backfield, decides to throw it away. We had a zone coverage linebacker lurking across the middle. Didn't look like Levis wanted to risk it. 2nd and 10, and they go across. They find Burks again, and he's going to pick up a gain of 8, bringing up 3rd and 2. Defense got to get off the field here. They go Pollard, who breaks the tackle in the backfield and's got the 1st down. That is how the quarter comes to an end. It is all Tennessee in this one. They have the field goal, touchdown, and the interception, plus they're driving. Someone in a black jersey is going to have to make a play as we get the 2nd quarter underway. They're at the 37, and they hand it off. Burks, he goes to the outside and maybe gets back to the line. And it looks like Devin Lloyd shaken up on that play. Didn't see where he was in the kerfuffle, but he heads to the sideline. We might need to make sure our cameraman's doing all right as well. That shot a little bit blurry, but 2nd and 10. Tennessee throws and knocked away. Good coverage there from Campbell. That could have been a 1st down instead. 3rd and 10. Another chance for our defense here. Blocking, holding up enough, but Levis will float it away as Walker worked his way back there. Now, will they send out the field goal unit here? Indeed, they will. Folk This one going to be about a 55-yarder. Darby screaming around the edge, comes up short, and that one probably would have been good from 60. They go up 13-0, capitalizing off that interception. With 7:40 left here in the first half, the offense for the Jaguars have not moved the ball. They've got to find their way to get downfield. Throwing that one under pressure is caught Ingram. Looks like Tennessee trying to bring some heat. 2nd and 5, they go spread empty. And sitting back in the pocket, working to the left-hand side, outruns 58 Lawrence by the midfield line and down to about the opposite 36. It's been his ability to scramble that has elevated what little there has been from this offense. Need that here as they go ETN bursting down the middle, a wide open gap, and he's down to about the red zone. This seems like this offense has to be fitted towards handing the ball off to ETN and then some delayed rushing from Lawrence because the passing game has not been there. Rolling, waiting, throwing, caught by Evan Ingram. A little risky, but it ends up working out. 1st and goal for the Jaguars. As they get motion, that's Gabe Davis taking the jet sweep and tried to hit the spin. It goes nowhere. Titans standing on business here as he's saying, talk your talk from that last game. We're out here making the plays this time. Lawrence takes the handoff. Coming around the edge is the safety. It's a loss of 1. These two teams, they are getting chippy out there, fighting for that playoff spot, because if they don't make it to the playoff, their season is done in just 2 games. Firing this one in, caught Devin Duvernay. Perfect timing there from Trevor Lawrence. Jacksonville is on the board, narrowing this deficit 13-7. A great answer back from Jacksonville, and with 4 minutes, 18 seconds left in the half, if their defense can get a quick stop, perhaps they could try to level or, in fact, go in front before halftime. Pass to the outside is caught. Heading down the sideline, another bad angle downfield. The tackling has been iffy downfield, to say the least, of late, and already into plus side at the 44. It's the I-form play action, dropping back and dumping this one off to Pollard, upended, taking him down inbounds. A hard hit from Hines Allen. What he was doing out there in coverage, I'm not sure. Need to have him rushing that QB. 2nd and 6, they go back to Pollard, and he meets Hines Allen again, plus Devin Lloyd back out there from his previous injury. Once again, defense needs to bow up here, get the stop, sitting at about that same field goal range as last time, and open down the sideline, Hopkins. That's twice now Levis has beat the cover 2 defense. They're down inside the red zone at the 14. Hopkins with a little zig motion as they look to set up the screen. His way blown up Lewican. Perhaps if he gets there a split second earlier, maybe that one's headed the opposite way. They stick with the spread empty look here. Levis taking his time, finding a target, and getting the catch. Down across the middle is Ridley. And that one will carry us inside the 2-minute warning. Both teams have their 3 timeouts. It's a 3rd and 6. Jacksonville trying to get off the field here, but a fresh set of downs, Okonkwo. He takes the dump off to the 1. And it's a spread look here, though they hand it off Pollard, and they sent the blitz. A loss of 3 as Lloyd in the face of Pollard after that one. They got 2nd and goal. This time looking to pass the ball, and to the back corner, too tall for Burks. Once again, nearly beating the cover 2. 3rd and goal, still at the 4. Levis, he's going to look to pass the ball yet again here. Rolling, trying to buy time, and eventually tosses it away. Defense stands. Will be a chip shot field goal, though, here for Folk, as it is up and through his 3rd of the half. But we might have something here. Devin Duvernay with a heck of a return will start plus side as the offense heads out. And considering the iffy passing game that we've had this year, with 34 seconds left, 3 timeouts, this is a really good starting spot. Play clock all the way down inside 5. Launching this one downfield, Evan Ingram gets the catch and into the end zone. What a play. One and done here before halftime to make this team 16-14. That's the kind of play we've been begging to see from Evan Ingram. And it was a prayer ball from Lawrence. 22 seconds left in the half, and getting the catch is Burks to about the midfield line. Titans called their first timeout there, and we saw earlier Folk from this side of the field can probably hit about a 60-yard field goal. I want to make sure we don't let them set that up as Levis throws away, had Burks in the area. And that leaves them 13 seconds still with those 2 timeouts to try to get into range or find something bigger like we did. And they go across the middle. There goes Okonkwo. Hops over the ankle tackle there and is down at the 33 with 7 seconds left. Titans, they go across the middle, and Hopkins gets the catch. Timeout called with 3. This should be an easy field goal here for Folk. He's already hit 3 this half, and he's got a 4th. Tennessee stretches that lead 19-14 as we officially hit half. So a lot of scoring there the last couple minutes of this first half. Tennessee in front, well outscoring what they were able to do in that previous matchup. In fact, they look like almost the exact opposite team. Will Levis out here having them move every single drive. We've had to bend but not break. We need to make sure we pick up our game in the second half, as the Colts are also currently in front on the Giants. They win, we must win, and that means Tennessee's got to lose. As for the Vikings, it is not looking too good, but another battle of 2 9-6 teams. Packers up 21-10, 3 interceptions on the game so far for J.J. McCarthy. As we take a look at our final update here, we got the Texans sitting bottom of our division, though again, it's not that much separating. They're on top of the Baltimore Ravens 24-7. In fact, they win against the Baltimore Ravens. So far, all of our division opponents doing better than us. But as we get this second half underway, we start off on offense with a chance to correct that. As Etienne takes the carry, picking up a gain of 5, and an injury. Evan Ingram looks like he did take a knee to the back as Etienne went behind him. He'll head to the sideline. Of course, he had that really big grab, that touchdown before the first half came to an end. Hopefully he's able to bounce back. As Lawrence tries to scramble, ball pops out. Little gets on it, and he will be touched down by Awuzie before he could get up and try to rumble with it. But a big play there from Simmons. Lawrence has scrambled well, and if he didn't make that hit, he might still be running. 3rd and 9. They set up the halfback screen here, follow the blocks, and Etienne picks it up barely. And with that good news, sprinkling in a little bit of bad, we already get some updates here on Evan Ingram. He may return to this game, but he is experiencing rib injuries. And the team hasn't gone his way all too often the last handful of weeks, so we'll see how much that affects him. Lawrence with a spread look here. Brenton Strange filling in at that tight end 1 spot. Under pressure, ball pops out again, but diving on it is another offensive lineman. We actually pick up a yard. Well, the Titans definitely dialing up that pressure. We got to find ways to beat it and stop dropping that ball here, Lawrence. 2nd and 9, motion from the right. Going to the left is Etienne. As he fights off one, he picks up another first down. We really should be going his way a lot more often than what we were in that first half. 1st and 10 at the 41, with all the tight ends plus an O-lineman out there filling in again due to that injury. Etienne takes the carry weak side, picks up about 8. However, more flags in the backfield. This one is coming back. They called that one on Walker Little, his 2nd holding call of the game. So it makes it a 1st and 20. Back behind the midfield line and rolling. Extending this play, Lawrence will just look to scramble. Good block, and he picks up the first down. Christian Kirk hasn't had a catch today, as his 1 catch was called back with the Walker Little holding. But he helps out his team by picking up that key block. Lawrence scrambles down to the 29. And now having to roll again. He's got some blockers downfield and receivers sliding down a yard short of the first down. Makes it 2nd and 1 at the 20. Back to a heavier set here. Davis slides in, the receiver right side. They go Etienne, stretching this one to the outside, and a great stop, 38. If Etienne found that corner, he would have been gone. 1st and 10. And dropping back, now rolling again. Nearly picked off. Lawrence left that one high and inside. Needed to be low and to the outside. 2nd and 10. With a extra set of downs here just because that wasn't picked off. And coming across, there's Christian Kirk turning and a lead for the Jacksonville Jaguars. A great start here, though it was rocky in this second half. A couple fumbles recovered by the O-lineman. Near interception, but Christian Kirk gets us in front. But just because we're in front doesn't mean we're done here yet. Evan Ingram checking back in here for a 2-point try. And lofted, dropped by Brenton Strange. An interesting throw there from Lawrence. He left a lot of air under that one. Jacksonville still holds on to the lead here, 20-19. Tried to make it that field goal game. Now as Tennessee takes the field for the first time this half, can Levis regain that lead? They start with a spread empty look, bringing the blitz. It's a quick dump off. Okonkwo out for 2. He definitely does seem to be Will Levis's safety net out there. If that pressure is bearing down, he is going to just quick flip it. 2nd and 8 to the outside. Okonkwo gets the catch. Campbell attacked the outside rather than the inside, but that does leave 3rd and about an inch. They hand it off. Pollard, a good push on that right side. 1st down, Tennessee. As we saw from the stats of that previous game, when they did go Pollard, it did work out. They've definitely gone his way a lot more. Now Levis is changing things up here. Didn't like the initial setup. Trips to the right-hand side. Didn't look like they were set, but no flag comes in. Instead, it's a gain of about 10 yards, but marked just shy 2nd and inches. Under pressure, play action rolling and finding Ridley. He's headed downfield, slipping another poor tackle attempt. Edmonds. It's Jerrion Jones that finally brings him down, but the Titans back inside the red zone. They have not slowed them down much at all today. We just stopped them from getting in the end zone. As that pass too high, looked like it might have been intended for Ridley. Jaguars, they're going to stick with that double A-gap look as they ran that previous play. Levis back in shotgun. Walker trying to work around the edge. Good hold up, and hearing the footsteps of Ringo, Hopkins lets the ball hit the turf. 3rd and 10. They go 2 to the right-hand side, 1 to the left. Got to try to bow up again here is the defense. Running some curl concepts. Levis scrambles, and he will be stopped by Lloyd for what I believe is the 5th time today. Folk out here for another field goal attempt. And he is perfect. Titans retake that lead, make it 22-20, and why that 2-point conversion was critical. But that does carry us into the 4th quarter, where we will start off with the ball at the 27, and we need a good drive here from the offense. Got to take a lead here as Etienne, he takes a stretch to the outside. Can't slip under the safety. Slows him down enough to have the reserves come in. With his efforts today, he is over 1,000 yards rushing on the season. He needs 2 more rushing touchdowns to hit 10. With a 1st and 10 at the 43, they go back to Etienne. Finds another lane and another gain of 9. A good start going through Etienne here. 2nd and 1. They come out with a heavy tight end set. 3 to the right-hand side. And fake the little flip. Eventually, they do get it out to Etienne. A flag does come down yet again in the backfield. But this time, it is safe for Walker Little. It's actually on the opposite side in Robinson, the left tackle. 2nd and 11. And they will go across the middle, finding Evan Ingram. Tries to take on the linebacker in Gibbons. But it will just be a gain of 6, leaving 5 here on 3rd. Got motion from the right-hand side, Davis. As they look to set up the halfback screen, nearly picked off by the big DT. He just sat, keeping Etienne from getting to the outside, nearly came away with it. But it's 4th and 5. The offense stays out. Hard count, no one jumps. On the logo, snapping it, rolling, and getting this one out to Devin Duvernay, who's got the 1st down, slips 1, tries the spin, ends up taking a little bit off, but 1st down at the 35. He's done fantastic today in the return game, finds a big play here on offense. First and 10, now a tight single back set. Rolling, another open receiver. Christian Kirk gets the catch down to the 15. Might have been a slow start for him, but coming alive here late. With 2 to the right-hand side, 1 to the left is Kirk. Dropping back again from under center. And rolling into the blitz goes Lawrence. If you roll to the opposite side, you might have a lane there. You at least gain something. Instead, 2nd and 13. With a spread look here, they go RPO. ETN couldn't find a lane. He had 2 to choose from. Well, I guess none were good enough for him. Maybe back to the line there. It's 3rd and 12. Bunch to the left-hand side. Hard count. This will be a free play. Under pressure. Rolling. He has his receiver. Davis had 2 chances to catch that one. It hits the turf, but with that false start or offsides, we will get a second chance at it. This time at the 12, rather than a 3rd and 12. 2 go to either side. Another hard count. Jumps again, but Lawrence didn't snap it quick enough. In fact, he's letting that play clock roll. Under pressure, Lawrence scrambles. He's got the first down. However, after that play, he got up to celebrate, but then he limps off the field. Now, Lawrence did get shaken up in the last game. Mac Jones came in, and he did well running, but not well passing. They might have to rely on him here late. Tank Bigsby in at running back. He goes left side, pushing as much as he could down at the 3. And they'll stick with the same look on 2nd and goal. Going Bigsby through the block. He's into the end zone, but don't get your hopes up here. Another flag is down. And for the 3rd time today, Walker Little called with a holding. It's going to make this 2nd and goal back at the 13. Jones back in shotgun and gets this one out just in time. ETN lets those blocks develop and back into the end zone. A running back scores. It's just not the same. Running back Jacksonville. They take the lead here as we are approaching the 2-minute warning. And as we saw at the end of that first half, a lot of points can be scored in 2 minutes, 53 seconds. Both teams have all of their timeouts. As Titans changing things up here, trips go to the left-hand side, 2 to the right. It's a lot of empty set today for Will Levis. They're letting that young QB go to work, but he misses the throw on first down. They were trying to find Hopkins across the middle. 2nd and 10, then it will be. Pollard in the backfield with Levis, taking their time before snapping that ball. Driving it across the middle goes Burks. He was absent in that first game. He's been big for him here, as I believe that is Mason Smith shaken up here for the Jaguars. He too will head to the sideline. Both of these teams putting in all-out effort out there, and unfortunately for our Jaguars, a few of our players dropping with that as that catch dropped in the bucket. No chance at forming any sort of pass rush when you throw that ball that quickly. 2nd and 6. Levis. More plays set up across the middle, though. Lets that develop. Ridley, he gets to the outside. They're down to the 40. As we still have 2 minutes left to play. Plenty of time for them to work their way towards that end zone, but it's the end zone they need. Good blocking up front. Another pass across the middle goes Hopkins. First timeout comes in for the Titans. Will Levis playing on another level in this one, but he's got to finish. 1:55. They've got 2 timeouts remaining as they go to the outside, and out of bounds is Burks. He did take a pretty nasty hit to the back of the knee in the process. 2nd and 5. 1:51 now. Motion here. Hopkins into the backfield and right back out. Ran this play or a similar design earlier, setting up the screen. This time they go Ridley. 1st and goal. It's been easy moving for the Titans this drive. More motion. Are they going to set up that screen? Well, under pressure. Throws off the throw. And that was probably needed as Hopkins had the inside leverage. It's now 2nd and goal, still at the 9. Walker trying to provide that pressure, had his back turned back of the end zone. He finds it this time. Missed that throw earlier in the game. Hopkins gives them the lead. But it is just a 1-point lead. So they will bring out the goal line set here, trying to go up by 2. Devin Lloyd forces him to roll to the outside. Armstead brings him down. A field goal could still win this here for Jacksonville. But it'll be 109 and Mac Jones at quarterback. Now, who will they look to feed? Etienne, he's been the main guy this second half. Will they use him as the diversion? Either way, they got to find their way down the field and take a lead. They do start with that screen. Big block, 76. Etienne first down and out of bounds. Cam Little, he needs the 38. Now, the good news is we have all of our timeouts. We don't have to force things here, especially with Mac Jones in at quarterback. Etienne, he takes the draw down the middle and pushing his way down with a gain of 9. Now, they do not call the timeout there. They let that clock run on down. 2nd and 1. Handing this one back off Etienne with a great lane. Receivers get stuck in the blocking, and they are inside field goal range. And with 2 seconds left, they called their timeout. Cam Little set up for a game-winning attempt. And this to keep their playoff hopes alive. But you know they are going to try to ice the young kicker. He's been extremely solid this season. But he's got to hit a 47-yarder with a lot on the lines. This one is up, and he nailed it. Perfect field goal. Jacksonville takes this game at home. And what a good game it was. A very tight divisional battle. Now this will keep us on top of the division as we already beat the Colts earlier in the season. So despite how they played today, we stay on top. We sweep the Tennessee Titans, and they could all but say that their season is done. But hats off to Will Levis in this one. He threw that ball 42 times, 340 yards, 2 touchdowns. But we shifted the focus in the second half to Etienne, and he carried this team. 91 yards rushing and 60 yards receiving. Nick Folk, 5 of 5 on his attempts, and Cam Little's one and only sealed this game. And that takes us to our Week 18 matchup. And as we predicted earlier on in this season, Week 18 might be the deciding factor, and indeed it will be, as we could go anywhere from 4th all the way down to 12th in the AFC standings. Now, a couple teams have already clinched the playoffs. You got the Jets and Buffalo Bills from the AFC East. No one has clinched from the AFC North, although we very much know that Cleveland is not making it at 1-15. It is between Baltimore and Pittsburgh. As for the AFC West, the Chiefs always, and the Chargers make it. That is a fun one. But we've got one last game here in the regular season, and hopefully it's not one last game in the season. This Colts game will decide if we are done or if we move on to the playoffs. Now, we did not get to play in this first Colts game. In fact, we came in after this game had already finished. Our first game was against the Packers, and we picked up a close win. But in terms of how the computer expects these games to play out, well, Jacksonville did take it 31-23. In this one, Trevor Lawrence threw 3 touchdowns, did have an interception. Anthony Richardson had 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Technically, it was a better day from Lawrence, but he only hit 61% of his passes. Etienne, 81 yards and a touchdown. But Jonathan Taylor did just as good, though just didn't have that touchdown, and actually went to Anthony Richardson, who had 50 yards rushing. Lawrence really didn't scramble around in that one, so that will definitely be different. Gabe Davis was the leading receiver. We really haven't looked his way. Downs was their best. It was a big day for Brenton Strange, which leads me to injuries. We had a couple guys banged up in that game. None are going to be lingering. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't going to be injuries by the time we get to this next game. We still got to go through a week of practice. We're missing 2 of our key guys, one on either side of the ball in this one, and we still came away with that victory. We've got to do that at least one more time. So to make sure you don't miss the season-defining game versus the Indianapolis Colts on the road, as 2 7-9 teams battle out for the final placement in the playoffs, hit that barrack on the bottom right or scroll down to the sub button and definitely tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series, every single Tuesday and Thursday. We have college football every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you do not want to miss this week's games, as just as we have here, the final 2 weeks deciding what happens with our season, the same for the Stanford Cardinal. We picked up a big win yesterday. Probably should have said spoiler alert there. We got another big game against Notre Dame coming up tomorrow. We win that game, we should be headed to the Pac-12 championship. And if we do that and win that, we will 100% be headed to the playoffs. So a lot on the lines in the final games of both of these series regular seasons. We'll see you in Indy.